Right here. Get your bonus out. There's 3 of them there. He's on the skyline.
Oh yeah. How far?
He's only like 220.
On this episode, we're heading out with Luke Direen. He's got a very inspiring story from some of his darkest days and how it's led him to some of his happiest days. Getting help is not a weakness, and there is a way through it. Oh man, this is insane.
I think it's coming soon. We're already starting to get a bit of rain.
We're quite exposed in here, so we're trying to just get across there pretty quick. Welcome along to another Mental Hunts episode. We're out here with Luke Direen. He's had a pretty hard time in the past few years back and worked pretty hard, and he's come out the other side, and it's a very inspiring story. Hopefully you guys get something from this and head over to the podcast and make sure you see that one as well. So this basin that we've landed in and set up camp, we're just right by the creek. We're sitting at about 1,200 metres and there's this beautiful flat basin. We've got these big walls all around us, a lot of tussock, a lot of bush scrub. We've got some nice access to the top, so we'll hopefully get up the top, go for a bit of a walk along the ridge. So we're hoping to get Luke out and get him a chamois, potentially a stag if we bump into one. We are 1 week out of the raw, so we might get lucky on a stag.
Chamois print there. Chamois print there.
So we're literally, 20 metres from our tent where we've...
They'll be coming up out of here at night, into the water.
Look at the size of that one.
Yeah, it's a good stag.
So we've not long set up camp, and we've pretty much set up right where the deer have been hanging out. So good to know they're around. There's prints everywhere just by the creek here. Might be even a better spot around the corner. We might be able to start, get a bit of height there.
There's got to be a stag in here or a big chamois.
Yeah. And we may even, if we got a bit of height, we might be able to see them.
Yeah.
We've got plenty of options, eh?
Yeah, there's heaps of options in here.
So these episodes couldn't go ahead without the support of our sponsors. This particular episode wouldn't happen without the support from Awesome Tents and Backcountry Helicopters from Makarora. They're in huge support of the conversations around mental health and understand the importance of getting in nature, the barriers to seeking help for firearms license holders, and they've just jumped on 100%. They see what we're trying to achieve here and changing this narrative and opening up these conversations. So we've set up camp. We're going to head around the corner, have a good look up the valley. We've got weather coming in the next few days, so we're going to make the most of it and see if we can find some animals. So come along for the ride and let's do this.
Jesus, the country's unreal, eh?
So we went out on our first mission to see if we could find anything in the basin, and just sitting down glassing was a good opportunity to find out from Luke a little bit more about how we got into hunting.
When I first started hunting when I was like 9 really, I shot my first animal when I was 6. But did my first hunt when I was 9 years old on a tar.
Awesome. That was your first animal, tar?
That was my first animal, yeah, bull tar. Yeah, it was pretty cool, eh? I'll never forget that day. It was definitely one to remember. It was with my granddad's old 303 and an open sight, so it was pretty awesome, eh?
After glassing for a few hours, we finally started to seeing a few animals. This was pretty exciting for me because I'd been looking at this spot on the maps for a long time, but really didn't know what we were getting into.
Right up the top here, way up the top.
Like ridge?
Yeah, there's that big bull there, bro.
Just out to the left.
To the left of, it's on the fan coming towards us. That's the thing, if they're moving down, if we punch over to that point and even sneak up that gully a wee bit and then shoot across.
It all depends on what that creek, gut's like. But I think for now, we could just
get across to that knob.
Just to that first knob.
Yeah.
And then it could be a case of maybe. So we thought we'd just head across the basin and just perch up on a ridge. It's great to see some animals there, so we weren't in a mad panic. Chamois don't go too far from one spot, so we knew that they'd be there for a few days if we needed it, and we had days to spare.
They're moving down pretty quick, so yeah, get into a bit of a position to have a good look, and might even get a shot off tonight, maybe, don't know.
We're quite exposed in here, so we're trying to just get across there pretty quick. The chamois just looking straight at us. Fucking wind. Smelling.
Yeah.
chamois are quite inquisitive, so not too worried about him looking at us because he's likely to come and have a better look.
So they've seen us and gone up a web, but now they've bedded down right under a rock. So we're just going to play the game right and wait now.
Quite often I've screwed up my hunts about now. I get too excited and start shifting every 5 minutes, so we're going to be a bit smarter this time. So we've been watching this young family up here, Nanny and her kids, and we've got this buck that's just finally poked his head out, just a wee bit out to the left. So we're just going to sit and watch, see what he does, whether he's coming down or whether he's going up. Seems to be sort of sidling out to the left. So
yeah, it's quite a nice animal. So
we'll sit here, and he's not going to go far. We've got plenty of daylight, plenty of time.
yeah.
So with a few chamois does and kids up to the right in the creek, we definitely had a few eyes on us, but the buck out to the left was just on his own, and so we thought we'd head up this scrubby face out to the left and see if we could get a little bit closer to him. Yeah, we'll get up there and see if we just get eyes on him and wait again.
Yeah, definitely.
If we just get out up a wee bit further, we'll at least have the wind in our face too.
We've come up the hill about 800 metres, straight up. Did a bit of bush bashing to get to a good advantage point. We were hoping the buck was still going to be here, but he's pushed all the does and the kids around the face about another 600 metres. So we're just going to play a waiting game again and see what happens. He's going to follow those does, man. Those does are down low.
I reckon we need to get you in a position and then we just wait.
Yeah. That's what it's all about, eh? Watching the animals, just enjoying the moment.
So you think just behind that bush there, is it?
Yep.
Do you want to go and have a look?
Yeah, I think so. Just get set up.
There you go.
Just give it a bit of time. We've still got half a day. Yeah, they're going to come this way quite quick. He's following those does. Those does are moving. So I think if we just stay here, we'll be fine.
We can't get any closer.
He's at 300 metres. But I'm not sure about the wind just yet, the way it's blowing around. So we'll just wait until this wind dies right down and hopefully he might come down a wee bit closer.
We just need him to come down about another 30 metres. And there's every chance we can get a shot at him.
When he clears that gully, I'll shoot him.
Nice shot.
He's down. Oh, dude.
That's
so cool, man. Big buck chamois down on the first day.
Yeah. Now it's my turn.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Dude, the pressure's off.
For you.
Oh, man.
Oh, we should get over there. And
We should.
we're going to lose light.
Right, gun is empty.
Awesome.
Let's go see this big boy.
What was it in the end?
250.
250. Nice. Nice, man.
Dude.
Wig.
Far out. Look at this line down his back.
We're going to take some back steak out of this and we're going to throw it on the fry pan when we get back.
Yep.
How many hours are you going for that one? For 4 hours?
About 4 hours.
Yeah.
With a bit of sitting around watching and
Yeah.
waiting and watching some does and kids. And this guy showed up and
Unreal. Sweet. After completion of day one, couldn't have gone better. To get Luke a chamois buck within the first 12 hours of being there was pretty special. With 3 days left of the hunt and a chamois buck on the ground for Luke, we were pretty chuffed about that, but I was pretty excited to think it was now my turn We decided it was time for me to have a crack at something and see what we could find.
So we've just woken up. It's been a windy old night and we were going to hit the tops this morning, but I don't think that's going to happen. Looking at this front that's come in a bit earlier, I think it's coming soon. We're already starting to get a bit of rain. There's a lot of country on the other side here, so we'll be able to glass a lot of area close to camp, see what we can see. How'd you sleep?
Pretty bloody good.
You did?
Yeah.
Good. There's no point us bothering hitting the tops and this shit.
No.
And it's likely to come in when we get there, so we're not going to go up there, but...
No.
We thought we'd still head out even though the weather wasn't that kind to us and see what we could find. It was also a really good chance to sit down with Luke and while glassing just get to know him a little bit more.
It's all on you today, big fella.
Yeah, thanks for the thanks for the conditions. I'll give you the good day. Well, I think we're not going to go too far from camp.
No.
If we head over here, I went over there last night and it was quite sheltered. If that rain comes in, which it's trying to, I think we can bail out pretty quick, but
Yeah.
I don't think we want to go up there in a hurry.
No.
We ended up just setting up close to camp, tucked in this little shelf just around the corner, and I just wanted a bit of time to talk to Luke about how his hunting really was when he started getting depressed, when things started getting dark, how things really were.
I used to do a lot of hunting with mates, and it was always a competition. It always felt like a competition. So I started doing a lot on my own, and that's when I was sort of in that cusp of being in the depression.
Yeah.
And coming out on places like this, and I was really pushing myself to get animals, and I wasn't enjoying the hunting. Sometimes I sat on the hill and I used to wish that my mates were with me, but I'd always tell them that I wasn't going hunting that day or I wasn't going hunting that weekend, and sort of not be honest with them.
Yeah.
When all they wanted to do was help me out in the long run, and actually just chill out, and because they knew stuff was going on with me, and
Yeah.
they just wanted to be there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it is a tricky one, and many people walk away from their friends because they just think they just can't deal with it. But you know, if you knew what I've been sort of advocating and what we've been working with the Firearms Safety Authority about, the self-surrender and give yourself 6-9 months to sort yourself and then reapply, and you can still shoot under the supervision because you obviously go out with your mates. Would you choose that option?
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, I think people need to give themselves time without the stress of having something taken, but it's a really good opportunity if you aren't well. Yeah. And like you say, hunting sucks when you're not well.
It does.
It really does.
It does.
And you can sit there and say, oh, it's all for mental health, but you know, it's just as good as coming out here and walking up that hill and getting a good sweat up is as beneficial as the hunt. So if that's the only thing stopping you getting help, self-surrender, you're in control, you reapply at your own point.
Although we know getting out hunting and into nature, there's so many benefits for our mental health. It was interesting to hear Luke's take on how in some extreme cases it actually has the opposite effect, and we just need to know when it's time to ask for help, and you know, that's okay. With that, we decided, with not much happening here, it was time to move on, so we decided to pack up and head across the other side and see what else we could see. So we've just spent the last few hours, we haven't seen a thing, so while we've still got a bit of good weather, we're going to head across the other side. I did see a chamois yesterday on its own, so I'll see if he's still floating around, or if not, who knows. We'll just tuck in out of the wind over the other side. My sheltered spot doesn't look too sheltered. So we've got a chamois on the other side. It's only about halfway up. Appears to be looking down at us, but he could be just looking at the view. just sat down. Oh man, if you didn't know he was there, he's still there, but his head's just looking at us. He's looking at us, looking at him. Good size buck.
He's a good buck.
It's going to be another one of those waiting games and hoping to beat the weather. So we sat around for a while, but we could see the storm was starting to move in. It was really starting to deteriorate. We knew it was coming, although we did know it was fast moving, so it wasn't going to be there for long. So we set up shelter, and Luke and I just got talking about how far we've come as a society when it comes to talking about our mental health. Think back 5 years ago, we never spoke about it. It's so good to see people opening up their conversations, whether it be online or just talking to their mates. It's hugely important and hugely impactful. It was just until recently that Luke even had troubles even opening up and talking. And to be able to do that on such a public platform is massive. He knows he's going to help someone. I mean, I think we are getting better talking about mental health.
Yeah.
I do think there's still a long way to go, but you know, these conversations, like I say, when guys are out on the hunting trips, it does start to become a bit more normal, and
Yeah.
you know, it's not frowned upon, and it is easy just to say, hey shit guys, I'm having a hard time. I'm really having a tough week.
And that's the easiest thing now for me, that I've gone through everything, that you can say to your mate, shit, I'm having a bit of a rough week. Do you want to catch up and have a chat?
Yeah.
Prior to everything going on, I never did that.
Yeah.
Never.
No, me neither.
Once you start talking, it makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
So much easier. Once you actually open up and just start talking.
You don't have to feel like you got to look over your shoulder all the time, eh? That's how I felt. And you don't really give a shit about anyone's opinion either.
No.
Which is a nice way to live life.
I sort of
bad opinion.
I sort of found that after things. I was like, oh well, that's.
I'm very polite to people, but I don't, you know, I don't expect everyone to like me. It's unrealistic.
Yeah. But
prior to that, I wanted everyone to like me and think I was awesome.
Yep.
And
yeah.
Now I just focus on me and what I'm doing. And
yeah.
We've had a little bit of a late start this morning. We woke up to a bit of fog, so it's only just starting to clear. So we're going to head out. We seen this buck around the corner here, so we're going to sneak along the bush behind me and just sit in there and see if we can get eyes on it again. And then hopefully we can sneak back around here and along underneath it and set a bit of a game plan, because it's been there for the last few days.
From just here, right?
Yeah, might as well just sit here for a bit and see what happens. And Luke's just got onto a nice big chamois buck, but he's not going to go far. He's miles up in a big gully that I think is almost impossible to get to, unfortunately. So. Because no other animal's stupid enough to go in there.
I'd go up there. Well, I'd have a look. I'd definitely look at it.
He's right at the very top of that waterfall.
We're sort of surrounded by them at the moment, aren't we? We've got a couple up there, possibly a buck over here still. These ones, this family mob sort of here.
Four wee locations we could.
Yeah.
And all of them kind of suck to get
hard to get to with a swirling wind.
That's why they're
as
there.
Well.
So we're going to just shift over where we were the other day, see if we can see a bit further around in this face. We'll see what we can find in there. Yeah, so we've hit this other spot. There's not a lot happening here, nothing up that side. Still got these few up top, but we know there's some animals on the other side of this ridge, so we're going to sneak around the bottom, have a bit of a look and see if they're worth having a crack at. Otherwise we might just head back to camp, just have a go up top, climb high.
It's actually nice walking up here, eh?
It's not too bad, eh? We don't have to go far to see animals anyway.
No.
So we've got a wee ridge just in front of us. We're gonna sit and have a good look. We've got the wind coming right up us, but 20 metres that way it was in our face, so it's just swirling around. So hopefully we'll see.
So as we climbed up the ridge, it didn't take us too long and we're back onto some animals. Some chamois took off around the corner. We just weren't aware of how many were around and we're starting to close the gap pretty quick.
Yeah, right there. Just went straight into that gully. Not sure if it was a doe or a buck, but at 350, 400 metres away, just run into the gully, so we're in the right spot.
So unfortunately we've got the wind scooting straight up our ass. So we're just gonna go another 50 metres. We're this far up, we might as well keep going and sit for an hour and have a look. Do not sleep.
Although the camera doesn't show it, the terrain we're in was extremely steep and extremely dangerous. Although we were keen to get up and see these animals, it's not worth risking your life for. So we just picked our way through it gently and took our time.
Wait, there's a big buck right here. Right here. Can you point us out? There's 3 of them there. He's on the skyline.
Oh yeah. How far?
He's only like 220.
With the chamois buck real close and the wind was just swirling around, we knew we needed to get up real quick. We didn't have a good spot to shoot from where we were, so we needed to get elevation.
Keep going up.
We're getting bloody close. Just can't get eyes on them again. Wind.
Look straight through here. Right there. They're walking away now. See them? He's looking right at us.
250 yards. That's actually not that far.
Oh, there's another one. That's a doe.
That's a doe in front.
And a kid. How cool's that, man? They're going to come right down here.
I'm not going to shoot, man.
No, we're not going to shoot them.
Just straight across in front of us with a kid.
100 yards.
Yeah, it wouldn't even be. She's coming our way. She might come across the rock face right in front of us. We're actually trying to go up. But this one's just curious as to what we are. She's coming for a look. Man, that's cool.
To see these 2 chamois moving across this face like it was nothing was absolutely amazing. It was the highlight of my trip. They ended up coming within 30 metres, and although we had every opportunity to shoot at both of these animals, they were not what we were here for. It was just the whole experience. So soon after that, we did get onto a chamois buck. He was taken off across the face. We couldn't get an identification on it, whether it was a shooter or not. I then scaled the ridge top and I just wasn't comfortable to take the shot. It felt rushed and I wasn't prepared to win the animal, and I didn't know what was down the other side it was running.
That's all right. Oh man, this is insane. We had a buck scoot down in front of us. He just ran over the ridge. Got another kid just come in now, so they've come in so close.
So we carried on to the top and just used that time to enjoy the view. The hunt was over, animals had moved on, but we just sat there for a good half an hour just enjoying the view. It was absolutely spectacular. The view back down to camp was amazing.
Couldn't ask for more, really. Plenty of opportunities to shoot, but we're not after young kids. So yeah, really awesome day, eh? Good way to finish off. Well, everything we talked about and that forecast was saying seemed to happen. Even today was actually better than it said.
Yeah.
Well, I reckon that was one of the best days hunting I've had in a long time.
Incredible. We climbed almost 3/4 of the way up to the top.
So after a pretty amazing few days, We managed to get back to camp early on the last night and thought we'd celebrate by cooking up a nice feed of Luke's chamois backstraps. We didn't have much to put with it, just a bit of salt and pepper. Didn't even have oil.
All right.
Mate, that's good.
Is it not tough?
No. Good, eh?
That's like medium rare. That's perfect. I thought that would be tough.
So did I. Yep.
I honestly thought that would be like boot leather.
Don't need the old Marty sauce on this.
It's not even strong, eh?
No.
It's just, yeah, real good.
No, there's no gaminess to that at all.
How much do you reckon a piece of backsteak would cost in the supermarket? Oh, you get the beef ones, they're like
120 bucks.
Yeah. I mean, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
We woke up to a really hard frost, really chilly. Took a while for the sun to come over. Didn't have time for a hunt this morning as the helicopter was coming in early to pick up, but we got all packed up and decided to sit down and enjoy that view for the last time.
So with everything we've talked about throughout the last few days, and would there be anything you'd do differently? What advice would you give others right now?
I would talk to my mates, talk to your GP, talk to your family, just talk to anyone that you feel comfortable with, eh? Like, and it's you're not going to get shunned or looked down on for going to talk to someone about it.
No. No, you're spot on.
I should have done it years ago. In hindsight, I really should have.
Got help.
Yeah. But it just happened so quickly. It's definitely been worth doing what I've done.
It's quite a nice feeling not having to look over your shoulder. So
it is. It's a scary feeling to get it out on a public platform, but at the same time, I know there are going to be people out there that have been through the same thing I have, and it's gonna resonate with them and go, shit, he's done that and he's been through that, but he's in a pretty good spot now.
And that's the thing, you can't quantify the benefits of telling your story.
We've got so many stories we want to tell. We've got people reaching out and we can't wait. We're pumped and we can't wait to share more. We really want people to understand if you are having a hard time, if life's not the way you want it to be right now, you're not alone, and know the power of talking to someone, asking your mate for help, going to seek professional support. It's definitely a benefit and it will get you out of that dark spot.